Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Wasteland 3. This is Girl RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you chose to join me today. I just want to start the episode out by saying I named the last episode after it, but I just want to clear it out. I said Mr. Biscuit last, or Biscuit, because the U is mute, last episode, but it's actually Total Biscuit and not Mr. Biscuit, and I messed up the names because it's complicated. My brain is complicated. Last episode, so we were taking a tour. We were taking
to our boss if you're here to help.
Keep in yellow or blue?
blue, always blue. I mean, not always blue, sometimes yellow. Nice combination though.
Been here for hours. Oh, my feet are killing me.
Come on. I told you not to buy cheap boots at Talbot's, didn't I?
It's a lie. It's a lie. The quality of your shoes doesn't matter. Actually, it does.
A man from Pawtucket, and for $1.50, you can fuck it.
Oh.
What's going on here? You're all under arrest. Don't make me pull out my bullet. There's a new sheriff of Sexyville in town, ladies.
Okay, well, we have levels 2 and 3. I don't know where that's going. Yeah, but last episode we were just taking a tour, another tour, and we are in the bazaar, so let's see what we have. I'm looking for people with names. That's usually how it goes. And yes, there's music all over. Long John, did I talk to you? Do I need to go all the way around? I do. Let's do that. For all that it might be swaddled in dirty, mismatched fabric. Oh, that's a phrasing. Wow, that is an interesting way of... I'm sorry, I'm getting stuck on the phrasing because this is difficult. This figure is clearly anything but human, even though it is swaddled in dirty, mismatched fabric. That doesn't make much sense, but that is what the sentence means. I just rephrased it so that I can pronounce it, because cold reading these words. Anyway, at your approach, it straightens with a creak of rusted gears and presses a palm to the Nixon mask over its face. Oh, I can see it from here. It's the nose. That's the Nixon mask. I know that. I also know other things about Nixon, but the nose is people talked about the nose, I think.
As I live and eat cherry pie, more of my fellow humans in the bazaar. You make yourself welcome now, you hear?
He scratches behind his mask's plastic ear. His shirt shifts to reveal a coil device on his chest, an impressive-looking piece of tech.
Fellow humans?
So why are you trying to pretend you're not a synth?
Me? A synth? Aren't you adorable? I'm meat and muscle, just like you, Rangers. Shucks, I even have dreams all the time. Technicolor dreams about flying and standing naked in front of people I don't quite know. Synths don't do that.
No, they dream of electric sheep, as we know. Can I say that? I can't. Tell us about yourself.
Well, gosh, and apple pies. You put me in a spot. Let's see. My name is Long John, and I'm old as dirt. I've traveled a little, but nowhere interesting. Now I'm here in the bazaar, just to see what life has to offer. Make friends. Wasn't something that I got to do when I was younger, what with my job and all. There was no time to make friends, none at all. But I'm making up for it. I know everyone in the bazaar, and they know me.
Tell us about your travels.
I'll tell you young'uns what I can. Despite the fact I'm old as the mountains, figuratively speaking, that is. Humans rarely live past 70, and I'm just about ready to expire. I don't know everything, you hear? Even though I've walked all the way from Denver to Steeltown and back again.
Do you have any stories about Colorado Springs?
Colorado Springs. That's an all right place. A little uptight, but that's what you get from having all of the 100 families there. I like the scientists and engineers, though. Real clever kids.
Have you been to the plains?
Nuh-uh. Place like that ain't fit for the lonely traveler. Well, you might be all right. If you do decide to go in that direction, I've heard that it's gotten real dangerous.
What can you tell us about Steel Town?
Steel Town? That place is an industrial nightmare. Raging fires all around. Melts right through the skin. Gives me the shivers, you hear?
Tell us about Denver.
I'd stay away from the city. It's nothing but a corpse these days, and the Gippers, well, they're not a bad lot per se, but I'd be careful around them. If you have to spend some time, I'd personally visit the airport instead. The young'uns there are wonderful.
Let's talk about something else.
You kids these days and your limited attention spans.
What can you tell us about the people in the bazaar?
Some of it is real private, and some of it probably should be. But you young whippersnappers tell everyone everything.
He taps the side of his bulbous plastic nose.
Like Paradolia Jones? He's probably the best damn caravan master in the bazaar. But his business would be better if he knew how to keep his mouth shut. Between you and me, if I was afraid of ducks, I wouldn't tell a soul.
We still think you're a synth.
I'm not a synth. Why, just last night I had the most human dream. I was back in high school. There was a trigonometry test. I sat down confident and brash, only to realize I completely forgot to study.
I noticed that there's a strange reliance on dreams here for him. Oh, I'm not a synth because of all my dreams. Which is weird, but I'm not sure. Like, it's not blatant enough yet that it comes across as subtext. So it might be the author just trying to, come up with things that a synth would say to try to justify its humanness, and just they go back to dreams. So it's not blatant. It's sort of treading that line between character. What's the word? Like a character trait. That's not the word, but still, it's him thinking that humanness is all about what you dream of. But I don't know that is the intention. It kind of feels like it might be just the writer forgetting to be a little bit more diverse in his sort of justifications. But let's see if he says anything else different.
I also enjoy toasted eggs in the morning. A very human thing.
Okay, so I'm leaning towards the second. The author just going, it's dreams, that's what makes humans. And toasted eggs, apparently. Everyone can tell that's a mask, right? This is also sort of silly. Even if it... this is silly. It's there's a certain limitation to the... It's again, we can only take things so far in video games, because he could have a prosthetic body and still be human. For example, he could have gears in his... He could have steel made of skin. Or, no, the other way around. Skin made of steel. He could have gears in his chest. He could have... whatever. It doesn't matter. Actually, we can tell... I think there's a prosthetic leg from here. It might be a boot, and it just... I don't know. But either way, yeah, he could have that and still be human. It's... especially for old people, you'd have enough time to live your life and just, switch some parts out. Especially if you get, I don't know, kidnapped by robots, and they just switch some parts around. But the face mask as a justification. Aha, you're wearing a mask. You're surely a robot. That is, yeah. But that's the thing, that we can only take that so far, because I think, stories simplify things, because they mean to tell a story. This one is this. Everyone can tell that is a mask, right? Look, we can see the strings.
Oh, you kids and your humor. If the folk in the bazaar really thought I was a synth, wouldn't they have tried to decommission me? Not that I'm afraid of such things, being the perfectly ordinary human male that I am.
He hesitates.
All right, fine. I am a synth, but you can't tell anyone.
I don't think I need to tell anyone. But everyone in the bazaar already knows.
Do they? I'm not sure I believe that. If they knew, wouldn't they have melted me down to scrap by now? People don't like sense, far as I've seen. You're clever ones, and bully to you for figuring out who I am. But let's not talk about it again, okay? The topic puts me on edge.
Okay.
So soon? I suppose even good things gotta end sometime. You be safe now, you hear? And come back to see old Long John when you can. Best of luck to you.
Mm-hmm. And we have a bunch of people. So on our way around, we went over there. I don't think there's going to be anybody around. Let's try not pay attention to the barks. As Dr. Cold Klutz. Hey, did I talk to you?
Ah, you again.
Yeah.
What is it?
Nothing. I'll see you later. Let's get away from that
The
song as
bazaar's
well.
not perfectly safe, but well, you know, just talk to Flab.
Flab, yeah, shut up. With Flab, my God, you and Flab. We have Masato, we have Alfredo
Somebody
Garcia.
told me they serve lemonade. No way. Where would they get lemons?
They don't. I mean, technically they only need to get lemonade. We have a tape, a cassette tape over here. Noodles ad. Ooh. And we also have junk.
What's the perfect food? Noodles. How many do we have? Oodles. Who should have some now? Oodles. Masato makes the best noodles.
Hi, folks. This is Masato at the bazaar, and I have discovered the perfect food. Instant noodles. But pre-war packets are hard to come by, so I have reversed engineered their deliciousness and have them for sale at my stall for all to enjoy. Yes, at Masato's noodle stand, we have oodles of noodles for yoodles.
What's the perfect food? Noodles. How many do we have? Oodles. Who should have some now? Oodles. And now we have to go toodles.
Well, that's a vibrato there. Very, very
Hot
efficient
noodles.
one. In the voice, I mean, the ooh. I can't do it properly. It requires a lot of, what's the word? There's a word for the muscle. You need to have basically chest strength to do the vibrato properly and controlled, because that's the difficulty. Anyway, the man before you is moving so fast he's nearly a blur as he dashes from pot to pot on his stoves, stirring one, tasting another. As you approach, he stops his cooking to turn his undivided attention to you.
My friends, you saw that explosion too? Horrible! Such a waste of good pork. And human life, of course. But don't worry, Masato is here to offer aid and succor. Have you seen anything this delicious?
He holds a steaming hot bowl in front of you, filled to the brim with some kind of noodles. I'm not really sure. I know noodles as a food in the US is very is pretty famous, or pretty common, I suppose, in the sense of like it's a cheap food and it's tasty. Also, you can just add to it. But of course, Asia has that's where the tradition comes from. But in Europe, I don't get the impression that it's a very common food. Certainly not here in Portugal. The first noodles that I had them actually relatively recently in my life, like 5 years ago, at the age of 27, 28. Yeah, I mean, just straight noodles, it's sort of plain, but I mean, they can be very tasty.'t had some really nice ones. The cheap ones, like a €1.50 per meal. What I mean to say is that the obsession with noodles is a little bit foreign to me. I wonder what we're trying to say here in the Wasteland 3 is what I mean to say. I wonder where we're going with this. But of course, this being post-nuclear America, it's all connected, isn't it? That looks amazing. May we?
Yes, yes. Be my guest. After enjoying this bowl, know that my store is open to you. I have a variety of goods that you may find useful.
He hands you the bowl, which turns out to be a mix of noodles and pork, which is filling and quite delicious. Two witches in the same sentence. And also they work. He watches you eat it with a hopeful grin.
A man who never eats pork is never a whole man. But I have to tell you, my friends, these noodles are a pale imitation of the real thing, the great pre-war delicacy, the rarest of rare magics, instant ramen noodles. I hope one day I will perfect my recipe to recreate them. But enough about me. How can I be of service?
I also must say that I have never had non-instant noodles. They're not really instant. You need to put them in the microwave or something. No, actually, I never cooked them in the microwave. I just boil the water in my pot or whatever, and I put it inside the cup. But I don't have any in my. I'm actually, yeah. I could go for some noodles right about now. I mean, it's about time to get to lunch. But anyway, it's past time actually for me. So you're looking for instant ramen noodles.
Ah, you picked up on my subtle hints.
You said it outright.
Years ago, a friend in Colorado Springs gave me a package of instant ramen noodles that he had found in the Warrens underneath the bazaar. The experience changed my life forever, and I moved here in hopes of finding more.
The cook starts to fidget, despair painting his face as he loses his usual buoyant, I think, composure.
The Warrens aren't safe. I can't venture down there. But you must understand, it is as if my body is made of ramen. If you go down in the Warrens, please keep your eyes open for this rare delicacy.
Ranger HQ could use a chef like you.
Oh, how interesting. You mean a permanent position? A full kitchen of my own? My friends, that is quite the offer you're making me. You have my interest for sure. But as I explained to you, I'm here for a reason. Bring me the ramen noodles and I'll gladly join you at your HQ.
Anything you can tell us about the bazaar's residents?
There've been a lot of troubles of late. People disappearing, showing up dead. And now this exploding pig! Can you believe that? I've heard of you guys. I know you can help. May I suggest you talk to the guy in charge, Flab? You can find him upstairs.
This voice actor is very uneasy with the script. Even, like, a lot of the intonation is just under-delivered, but that Flab there is just sort of caught him off guard, because it's not... You know, he didn't. I think he should have retaken that line. Can you tell us any more about the bazaar's residents?
Eidolon is relatively new to this place. She showed up not long after I did. Her business model is interesting. Not sure how she actually makes money, though.
You see what I mean? Her business model is. You should never. You need to give me the ellipses. What? Feels like a style more than just. How would you even do that? Like in a first take, and it's just sort of like, oh, I don't know. Maybe he's shooting for some specific weird type of acting, and is just sort of, I don't like it. Maybe it's a stylistic choice that I'm not really on board with, and it's fine. I don't know. Can we see your wares?
Naturally. My store is always open to you, my friends.
Yeah, he's definitely got a little. Oh, he likes me, doesn't he? Oh, yeah. That's what. It's good. Sell junk. Not that I have a whole lot of it, but sell junk nonetheless. We also have a lot of weapons, so maybe I could get rid of them. Yeah. Oh, double clicks don't work. You need to move your mouse a little bit in between. I'm not sure I like that. So we're not selling the uniques. We also need to be very... Yeah, it's a good thing that double clicks don't work, because the sorting... Yeah, they need to work on their inventory system. The sorting changes every time you sell. It is not great. But it works well enough for what we're trying to do here. Radtech armor. Merc armor. Radatech pants. Tactical armor helmet. Yeah, we're not going to go with those. Did I sell the wrong one? Maybe. We don't have a buyback. I don't think I did. Otherwise, I would see it here. Yeah, we don't have a buyback. We also don't have inventory space, so, you know, all the good design decisions. No inventory space. Every game should have no inventory space, in the sense that, you know, you shouldn't limit your inventory. So what do we have? Stir-fried pork. I believe I've never had that dish. We got beer nuts. Definitely never had that. Pork bun. I don't think I had that either. A hobo dog. I have had that. That looks like, that looks pretty good, actually. Snickers! I don't know what that is. What is Snickers? We don't know. This is, I'm kidding, obviously, if it's not clear. Well, I'll see you later, I suppose. We, need to go to the Warrens. We got,
You know what I want?
Fill her up,
Horchata.
barkeep.
Ooh, that sounds
I'll
good.
tell you when to quit.
horchata. I don't know what that
Fill her
was.
up, barkeep.
Hola,
I'll tell
amigos.
you when to quit.
Como
Fill her up,
estas?
barkeep.
Hey, pals. Finn is the name. If you need a drink, you've come to the right place. If you got questions, well, I suppose that's okay too.
That guy over there please kill him in the face. He's also not a named character, and he talks. This game does have trouble realizing, activating the barks every once in a while. This bartender Finn that we're talking to. Did you see that pig explode?
Between you and me, I've been partaking in some taste tests during my shift, so everything is a little blurry at the moment. I did hear a loud boom, but I figured it was just a thunderstorm.
What can you tell us about this place?
Not much. I'm pretty new. Just started a week ago. Rumor has it the old bartender mysteriously vanished into thin air. Anyway, this place is something for everyone. Guns, armor, food, meds, entertainment, and most importantly, booze! If you're here to work for Flab, then he might be able to tell you more. One thing's for sure, there's something weird going on here.
What can you tell us about Flab?
Flab the Inhaler is the man who is large and in charge of the bazaar. And I ain't kidding you when I say large. From what I've seen, he's always in his office, just up the stairs.
What did you mean by something weird?
I don't know. I suppose everyone's on edge, you know? They're all putting on brave faces like things are normal, but I can tell something is wrong. Just don't know quite what.
I'll have a drink.
Only the finest drinks on earth.
The difference between this bartender here, or this voice actor here, or at least the voice acting, because for all I know, it might be the same voice actor. I don't think so. And the other one is just night and day. Okay, see you later. What do we have? We have this guy over here that deserves to die.
Bottoms up.
We have Paradolia Jones. We have heard her name before, but only now do I realize what that means. Paradolia is the effect that humans have, and in fact, all the not all the animals, but a lot of the animals, as far as we know, have similar things as well. It's got to do with our pattern recognition capabilities, and we tend to be very good at recognizing faces because that's how we are genetically built. So what happens is that we see faces in things. Let me see if I can see a face in anywhere in here, for that matter. Do we have a face apart from the real faces? I don't. Oh no, that's a mouth. Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like if you look it up, it's there's many examples. It's the whole thing about us seeing faces in a car, for example. If there's like two lamps and a little grill, we see a face because that's pareidolia. And obviously it is more famous in other situations where it's not even normal to expect a face like that. The face in Mars, or the face of Mars. It's in Mars. There's a mountain in Mars that for a few years back in 2000. No, actually, I think it was before that. I think it was back in the 80s, in the 90s. There was a mountain there that looked exactly like a human face. When I say exactly, I mean, again, it's the pareidolia. It didn't look anything like a human face, because the human face has things like nostrils and eyelashes and stuff like that. Well, the people who do have eyelashes, because it's still a human face if he doesn't have eyelashes. The point is, it resembles a human face, and the reason why pareidolia exists, just to be very brief, is because we need to be better at spotting some patterns other than others, because we're really social creatures, and we don't tell people apart by the straps on their back like the zebras do. We tell people apart by the faces, and of course, part of it is not genetic. Part of it is actually socially constructed. But the being used to identifying people by the face, but it's also genetic in certain regards. And there's experiments that prove that as well. It's kind of interesting. So I don't know why she has a name like that, Paradolia, or Paradolia. I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I do know. I mean, I know how to pronounce it in Portuguese. That would be close. The second time I pronounced it, it's closer to how it would be in Portuguese. As you approach this man's eyes flit over every member of your team as if assessing whether or not you are a direct threat. He relaxes after a moment and touches the brim of his hat with a slight nod. There's also an illness that well, I guess it's not really an illness. It's just what is it called? There's a name for it, like a I don't know the name of it, but it's not an illness. It's just like a condition or a there's a name, like a pathology. That's the word. Pathology is the word. There's a pathology that I don't know the name of, but it's commonly known as face blindness, which is another reason why our pattern recognition for faces is also genetic, or at least biological, rather than only socially constructed. There are parts of our social construct that also play a role in facial recognition, but a large part of it is genetic. And face blindness, what it does is that people have generally people have difficulty recognizing people's faces or recognizing people by their face. Video games, especially Japanese video games, interestingly enough, video games sometimes take it to extremes, as in basically people are not able to recognize anybody, and it's just like they go by other clues, like if people say their name, and if they don't say their name, well, I don't know who you are. I'm just gonna pretend that I know because it's a secret. It's always a secret. And yeah, Japanese video games are weird. But face blindness is there's people who have it. It's like it's not 100. It's not very rare. I think I saw numbers. I think it's a little bit rarer than color blindness. No. No, you can't be. Color blindness is 6% in men. I remember it was like 0 point something % in all people have face blindness. It's just it goes undiagnosed. But I'm just bringing. I don't remember the numbers. Oh, dang it! I'm just coming up with the numbers to try and explain what goes in my head. Don't quote me on 0.6. Why would I be specific? Because I know it's less than 1%. But it's like I in my mind I remembered it as being a little bit less than color blindness. Because color blindness in women is 1.4% or something. I don't know. Anyway. As you approach this man, the thing is, I'm saying face blindness because he's looking at us weirdly, and I don't, and his name, I'm just connecting the two things.
Howdy, ma'am.
He nods at Lucia. Yeah, he doesn't have face blindness, because otherwise he wouldn't recognize her, because she's dressed differently, and she's just a normal woman.
Howdy.
Always good to see you, Wesson.
He turns to you, nodding again. I can waggle my rubber duck at him. I'm gonna do that.
Could you please take that away? I don't like ducks.
While he attempts to appear stoic, his stiff posture and wide eyes betray his burgeoning panic. Burgeoning is a word. I like that word. But no, I don't think he attempts to appear stoic. Look at what he's saying. He's specifically saying I don't like ducks. Oh, actually, I think maybe the voice actor should have said I don't like ducks or something like that. Because the acting was very clearly he's panicking. What duck? We don't see any ducks here.
What? It's worse than I thought. Please, I need a moment.
He closes his eyes and starts mumbling numbers. Eventually, he opens his eyes again. Anything you can tell us about Colorado?
Thanks to the Patriarch, this stretch of land from Denver in the north to Steeltown in the south is pretty safe to travel. You'll find richer opportunities the further you venture out, but it'll also come with more risks. I could tell you more, but truth be told, the only way to know the land is to travel it. You look well equipped and competent. Just head out and see what you can learn.
I will head out.
Just my services as a caravan master. I organize caravans to get people, goods, and livestock from one place to another, but I don't sell goods myself. These lands near Colorado Springs are pretty safe, but still lots of people need help getting around, especially if you want to range further than that.
I asked him what he had for sale. Yeah, goodbye.
So long.
So long indeed, and also we're out of time for the day, so that's going to be that so long from me as well. So, yeah, for right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Wasteland 3. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, or if you didn't, just leave a comment, or a like as well, and thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.